Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie, and in this video I will be giving my thoughts on Stephen King's novel Cujo. Cujo was published by Viking Press and was released in 1981. Cujo's name comes from the alias of Willie Wolfe, who was one of the men responsible in the Patty Hearst kidnapping. While writing Cujo, Stephen King was very deep in his addiction to alcohol and cocaine, and has said in several interviews and in his memoir on writing that he barely even remembers writing Cujo at all. Cujo was made into a movie in 1983 starring Dee Wallace as Donna Trenton. Wallace was also the mom in the movie E.T., and fun fact, E.T. also starred a young Drew Barrymore, who also starred in another Stephen King movie, Firestarter. The role of Tad Trenton was played by Danny Pintorro. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, probably not. But Danny Pintorro was Jonathan Bauer in the 1980s sitcom Who's the Boss, which also starred Alyssa Milano. Cujo takes place in the fictional town of Castle Rock, Maine. And although many of the residents there are mentioned in this novel, it is mostly about two families, the Trenton family and the Camber family. The Camber family consists of Joe Camber, his wife Charity, and their 10-year-old son Brett, who in the beginning of the novel has a friendly Saint Bernard who does his very best to be a good dog. The Cambers live in a remote and isolated part of town. Joe Camber runs a garage from a large barn on their property, and his wife Charity is a housewife who is very unhappy in her abusive marriage and is worried about the bad influence her husband has on their son, Brett. The Trenton family has recently moved to Castle Rock. Vic Trenton is in advertising, and he works long hours to build his business and to provide a good life for his family. His wife Donna is a housewife and mother to their son, 4-year-old Tad. Like Charity, Donna too is very unhappy in her marriage because her husband is always working, and because she feels insecure about getting older. She has an affair, which she actually ends in the beginning of the novel, but not without complications later on in the story. 4-year-old Tad, their son, believes that a red-eyed monster is living in his bedroom closet. After hearing the devastating news of his wife's affair, Vic Trenton and his business partner have to travel to Boston to save an account and their business. Before leaving, Donna tells Vic that her car, which is a little blue Pinto, has been acting up. He suggests that she take it to Joe Camber's place to get it fixed while he's gone. After winning $5,000 in the lottery, Charity Camber convinces her husband to allow her and her son to visit Charity's well-to-do sister who lives out of state. Charity wants to show their son that there is another way of life and that he has options, as she is very afraid that their son Brett will end up like his father. Cujo the dog is written like a regular character, and we get to see things from a dog's point of view. And after chasing a rabbit, Cujo gets his nose stuck in a small limestone cave where he gets bit by a bat and gets infected with rabies. We get to see things through Cujo's eyes as the disease destroys the kind, gentle Saint Bernard from the beginning of the novel. After getting bit, Cujo's existence is that of confusion, agonizing pain, and anger. Soon he loses his appetite, doesn't recognize his owner, is sensitive to light, and blames anyone he comes in contact with for his unbearable pain. Before long, all he wants to do is kill, thinking that will be the only way that will get rid of his pain. After dropping off his wife and son at the bus station, Joe Camber soon meets his fate, but not before coming across a grisly discovery. Not too long after these events, Donna Trenton and her 4-year-old son Tad pull up to the Camber's property, completely unaware of Joe Camber's gruesome demise, or that his wife and son are out of town. When her little blue Pinto stalls several times before finally dying in the Camber's driveway. When Donna gets out of the car to knock on the Camber's door, Cujo lunges for her, violently ready to attack. Donna barely makes it back inside her car. So on the hottest day on record, Donna and her son are trapped inside a small, hot, broken down car with no one around for miles, in an isolated part of town with no way out, and a sick, vicious, murderous 200-pound dog that wants nothing more than to kill Donna and her young son Tad. To find out what happens, or to find out how long they were able to endure under these horrific conditions, you need to read Cujo by Stephen King. Cujo is actually one of my very favorite Stephen King novels. And I know it's not a popular opinion, and it's not to say anything bad about The Shining, because I love The Shining too. But I was actually more scared reading Cujo than I was The Shining. Maybe because I'm a mother, but Donna Trenton trapped in the car with her 4-year-old son for days with a relentless, bloodthirsty, and rabid 200-pound St. Bernard that wanted nothing more than to rip Donna and her young son apart just scared the shit out of me. The only thing I didn't like about this book was that there were no chapters, and I really like chapters in my books, but there were no breaks. It was just continuing, like there was no chapters anywhere. I'll show you, I have the book here, but you can see there's like, you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing, but it's just that with no, breaks in it. So I would have preferred if the book had chapters. And one thing that confused me a little bit was the monster in Tad's closet. I don't get it. But other than that, I really loved reading Cujo, and I would recommend it to anybody who likes reading Stephen King. So those were my thoughts on Stephen King's novel, Cujo. I really hope you liked this video, and in my next video, I will be talking about The Gunslinger, which is the first book in Stephen King's fantasy series, The Dark Tower, and I'm really excited about that because I've been wanting to get into that for a while. At some point, I'm hoping maybe after I read all of his novels in publication order, to go back and read the Dark Tower series in order. I want to do that in the future. But anyway, that's it for now. I really, again, hope you liked this video, and thank you for watching. And I will see you in my next video. Till then, bye.